What up, gamers? Today I'm going to talk about customization, so how to customize your gear and stats, as well as shaders and emblems in Destiny. So I'm going to start off by showing some gear and the stats and upgrades that they can have. So first, the stats on gear are Strength, Discipline, and Intellect. Strength will reduce the cooldown of your R1 ability, so for Hunters, that's your Throwing Knife. For Titans, it's the Thunder Punch, and for Warlocks, that's your Energy Drain. I've explained what these are in my subclass videos, like you'll see the different upgrades and stuff you can get for them. And in my PvP videos, you'll see them in action. So if you want to see those, I'll leave it in the description. So the next stat is Intellect, which reduces the cooldown of your super, and Discipline reduces the cooldown of your grenade. Now the buff under that, in gray, is an upgrade on the item, and you'll only see these on green gear or better. The gray means that the upgrade is not active, and you actually have to wear the piece of gear and gain a certain amount of experience before the upgrade becomes available. Then, you press triangle over the piece of gear and select the upgrade, so that it becomes active. And then you'll notice it becomes white, which means that you'll now receive that buff. From what I've seen in the alpha, chest armor will upgrade to let you carry more ammo for certain kinds of weapons, like mine does scout rifle. And then gloves can increase the reload speed of certain weapons, which is really good. Helmets can do a couple of different interesting things from what I've seen. Mine right now makes melee hits restore grenade energy, and I've also seen it the other way around. So grenade hits restore melee energy. They can also increase melee attack speed, and this blue also gives more super energy from grenade kills, which is pretty cool. Blue and better items seem to have an extra upgrade on top of what greens can have, but sadly all of the blue items seem to be level 10 and higher, so I can't use any of them in the alpha, sadly. Um, Also, green and better weapons can also be upgraded. So the first upgrade you'll get increases the weapon's attack, which lets you damage higher level enemies. And then they have a bit of a tree where you pick between 3 upgrades, which are usually different sites. The only weapons that I've noticed that get something different are the heavy weapons, which generally get like ammo capacity upgrades, and then you kind of like alter their stats a little bit. But again, these are only greens, and better weapons will have better upgrades. So next up, this color scheme is something I got during the alpha. Now, I didn't see very many people with these at all, so I don't think anyone's really explained how they work yet. So in order to dye your gear or change your color scheme or whatever you want to call it, you need to get something called a shader. I got this one from the Future War Call vendor in exchange for the crucible marks that you earn in PvP. My armor before this didn't really match at all. I had like camo pants and yellow gloves, but now this actually looks pretty good. So it looks like when you get a shader, you use it here, and it changes the entire color scheme of your gear. So it doesn't look like you can dye like individual pieces of your gear. You can't really change around the colors that way, but the shader is its own entire color scheme, and you can hold up to 9 different ones. And then your emblem is shown to other players. You equip that here, and in PvP, or if they're on your fire team, or if they inspect you. Now I didn't bother buying one of these because it's fairly obvious how they work. So now I'll show you the vendors that sell shaders and emblems. So this guy is the Dead Orbit vendor. There's the emblems at the top, and he also sells weapons and armor, and then the shaders are at the bottom. So this is the Future War Call vendor. The first shader is the one that I bought, and then these are the emblems at the top. This guy is the New Monarchy vendor. These are the emblems, then under the weapons and armor are his shaders. One of these looks like it's all white, but it's actually pretty hard to tell what exactly you're getting out of a shader, considering that mine was blue with a gold ring around it, and it made my gear mostly blue and red. Anyway, this old lady is the Guardian Outfitter that will have a selection of emblems and shaders. As you can see, once in a while her stock will refresh and change, which gives you different options. All of these shaders can be bought with Glimmer, but they require level 20, so I guess max level is when you really get to customize your look, which may seem a little bit weird, but you could do what I did and just get a PvP one in the meantime. Next, in terms of customization, you got your spaceships, and again, you seem to be able to hold up to 9, which seems to be the same for pretty much every slot, and you buy these at the shipwright, as you can see here. And her stock refreshes as well after a pretty long period of time. I think in the alpha it maybe refreshed once or twice, so it's over a day. And you can also buy different Sparrows off of her. So your Sparrows go over here for you to pick between, and you start off with this white one, which lets you boost with L2, and then as the quality gets higher, they allow you to do more. So this one I bought lets you break and corner more aggressively with R2. And then this guy is the Vanguard vendor, where you can buy legendary quality Sparrows, and that lets you strafe with L1 and R1. In addition to this guy, there's also a PvP vendor that sells these for the Crucible marks. And finally, it looks like you'll be able to customize your ghost, but there was nowhere in the alpha to get like another one of these that I know of anyways, so I didn't see any different ghosts ever. To finish off, you have your stats from your subclass, which differ from your stats on gear. So your armor reduces the damage you take, your recovery increases the rate at which you regenerate life, and your agility increases your movement speed and jump height. Then, your choices and upgrades in your subclass will affect these stats. So there are ones that you have to choose from that will explicitly alter your stats, like the ones in this row here, and also in this row over here. Then there are ones like this one that increases the range of Golden Gun, but as you can see, it also slightly boosts your recovery stat. And finally, if you decide to lock in your upgrade choices so that you can't change them, you get a boost to your class's main stat. So Hunters get Agility, Titans get Armor, and Warlocks get Recovery. So that about wraps it up for this video. I do have footage that goes in depth on where to find these vendors and actually gives a tour of all of the important places in the last city. And I have loads more gameplay and informational footage, so make sure that you subscribe for all of the Destiny content that I'll have coming out. And as always, thanks for watching.